to control that safe lane.
Yeah, but this is something that people were doing for a bit. I don't know if it was specifically FY, but I know it was some team in the Chinese region that were picking Night Stalker a lot into Beastmaster just because it's that vision game. Once you get your Aghanim Scepter on Night Stalker, Beastmaster's Hawk becomes not completely irrelevant, but it gets counteracted in quite a large manner. And we do have the Bane picked up, like you were mentioning. Escape Gaming a little bit light on the disables here, and Bane overall just he's just a super strong laning support. And now they have, this is kind of something we saw years ago from when people would pick the Wisp. They want to have the setup for the relocate, and these two heroes give that perfect opportunity for the setup. The Fiend's Grip, 5-second disable, while the Roar is a 3-second disable, respectively.
I'm wondering too now how Escape deal with this, because like, you're obviously gonna have like a heavy amount of vision, so you need the Night Stalker to actually stay in the jungle and get his Ags. Like this kind of has to happen for I'm assuming it'll be Synderen who plays the Night Stalker in this case.
No, Synderen always plays the Dazzle.
He'll be playing the Dazzle?
Yeah,
okay.
Every single.
That's kind of ironic considering Synderen was the Yule Scepter Night Stalker creator back in the past, so he has to give some things up.
YapzOr is much more of a greedy player, but he makes it work with their lineup, with their team, and we do see the Slark coming out.
Okay, so that's Era's hero. So what does Qualifiers take? You're dealing with a lot of global, and that's what I was wondering. Like, I was wondering, how do you deal with the global movement? I suppose one way of doing that is just having Slark, who can very quickly move from one side of the map to the other. I had Ember Spirit in the back of my mind, but the Slark also going to do the job. Maybe they have to pick up one last other thing, like an Invoker or something along those lines, just to have a good scaling hero.
Yeah, they haven't really had the most success on the Invoker. The last time I saw them pick it versus Vega, they actually looked really, really like bad on it, honestly. Like Quakefoot just looked like he was not synergizing with the team. His positioning was really odd
because like when they first came up, Invoker was the critical hero for them. That was like no diggity signature, and everyone was banning it in the first two because like Invoker's just so good. And then he synergized perfectly with all the other lane ganks. Like you run this Quas Exort and like Sunstrike every time. He was hitting the marks when he should never hit the marks.
I don't know if maybe they got like something like happened or something. Maybe they got like a little bit tilted or something going into the game, but it was just like that was the game versus Vega where Vega was already out of the tournament, and that's where they messed up Escape's opportunity. But yeah, Quakefoot's Invoker was just like late on the Sunstrikes a few times, and it just looked like he was just playing his own game, not focusing on his team. So it looked very different than the Quakefoot that we've been seeing work with Escape Gaming or the Synderen crew.
Well, Death Prophet's going to be now the mid hero for Fantastic 5.
3 times in a row, right? That they picked it, or was it?
Wasn't it tag teamed in the last one?
Oh yeah, it was. Whoops, that's right. You're right.
Yeah, went backwards and forwards.
Yep.
Medusa the final ban out from Escape. I think they're realizing just how little damage they've got at the moment. And if that mid lane is not a huge damage deal and he's more of a controller, this actually makes me think that it's not like unless they're thinking of only a Quas Exort Invoker. Obviously, it's not an Invoker. Of course, Swags would do very well against Medusa.
Yeah, it could still definitely be the Invoker. Not to never to take credit away from Quaifa. He's still a very, very prominent Invoker player. He just he definitely had an off game, and I don't know if maybe it'll push them away from that, feeling like it's their comfort hero. It fits, I guess, like okay with the draft. The thing is that they just have like absolutely no stuns.
Yeah, that's the big problem from Escape. Or they just try and find like a big combo, and something like the Ember. Like the Ember's in my brain for the safe lane though, not the mid lane. Don't know how well an Ember can really do against a Death Prophet when you don't have your Escape until level 6. Yeah,
the one thing is, I guess, like we were mentioning how Escape doesn't really have any stun or lockdown. Fantastic 5 does, but both the Beastmaster and the Bane have long like wind up. They have hard cast points in comparison for most lockdowns. Fantastic 5 needs to take up their final hero. They have the CK, they have it's open, and they have the Wisp, which benefits it a lot. They have Sven if they want to go for that option. It's pretty decent versus the Slark.
I'm wondering if they should try and find some burst damage against the Slark as well. It's a safe laner, so you wouldn't like unless you tag the Tiny, and that's where my brain was going.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
That's a lot of push power though.
Illidan heroes. I mean, he likes his Morphling a lot too, but okay, it's gonna be the CK as expected. Not a whole lot of AOE on the side of Escape Gaming, and CK is another form of lockdown, and it's like we've been saying, it's Illidan's comfort hero, and this hero has received. I actually cannot even tell you how many buffs in a row he's received. I want to say maybe 20, maybe even more than 20 buffs in a row, not just to the hero, but to the items that he builds, like Armlet. So it's really good to pick it up, especially in conjunction with the Wisp and with Beastmaster, because, of course, the Inner Beast affects all of his Phantasm illusions once he has that up, and it's just a nice synergizing factor.
It's also really good for the fact that Escape have no AoE clearance at the moment. You got a good teamfight control from Darkseer, but there's no follow-up. That's why, like, when you said this event, I'm like, wow, it would have been really great if Escape had that and not a Slark. Like, this Slark has to be picking off people left, right, and center really early on before they get out of control. Because once the BKB's on the CK, you're not going to be doing jack. As if, and that's like third item too. Like, that's Armlet, Manta, and then what?
Yeah, so now it's like Invoker. They need something to deal with the CK. So looking at just the recent heroes that they've played, it's majority of them are even banned out is the problem. Like, even they banned out the Tinker themselves. So their Timber is banned, their Tinker's banned, their Lone Druid's banned, and they just have to go for the Invoker. Yeah. So last hero that they have left, it's very good versus the Chaos Knight Illusions. It's decent in the laning phase versus Death Prophet, but still, they're very locked down short on the side of Escape Gaming.
Yeah, Escape's laning phase has to be amazing. Like, their first and second nighttime phase has to do something here with the Night Stalker. Like, yeah. But what do you do? Like, you can't really gank the Death Prophet with a Night Stalker and a Dazzle. You can keep the Invoker alive by having Dazzle carrying TP and drag him into the lane to save the Invoker. That you can do if the Death Prophet tries to force the issue. But the second you hit level 6 on the IO, you're always going to be outnumbered. You're always going to have, like, the vision advantage goes the way of Fantastic 5. Because Night Stalker will take a long time before he actually... Is he actually a Yapsaw Night Stalker? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just wondering how much time it takes for Night Stalker to come online to get the vision before, like, CK can punish him really bad.
I like the way that Ad Finum did it. Like, I know they had a different kind of lineup because it's like an Elder Titan instead, but the way that they approached with the Slark, they were like, okay, we're just gonna have our 4 support kind of just run around and make space. Well, even though the pole was blocked, the Oracle in the last game, all he did was, I'll get to the prediction stuff.
Yeah, I know you will.
The Oracle just emphasized a lot on stacking, so I want to see if Synderen does the same thing to boost Era's farm heavily, and if Yapsaw just runs around and makes as much space as possible with the boots, and he does look like he's going to go for that, so...
The only reason I pushed you is because I think F5 are going to look for a level 1 fight here, but we may run out of time.
Illidan denies, because he's versus Darkseer, so he's going to probably power deny if there's Iron Shells in that lane. Player deaths...
I'm going to go with 56 plus again.
Okay.
This game's going to drag on, but right now we're going to go into a fight. Illidan runs forward as Keizu. They prep the Iron Shells. The ball needs to keep the slows going. Era cannot get the leash. If that connected, then maybe Escape will be looking at First Blood, but instead, it'll just be F5 bailing out. So what's our last one?
Roche kills and...
Player with the highest net worth by 25 minutes.
I just put Illidan, I don't know.
I'd say Era, but I think Era is actually going to have that much.
Oh wow, so
kind of. I gotta be quick.
It looks like
Illidan Roshan kills.
So Keizu is actually very smart. He's gonna go for the Iron Talon build as well. He's not even gonna bother going toward that off lane. So it's gonna be Night Stalker just roaming between the middle lane and the safe lane. And Escape actually thought that when Fantastic 5 was running to the jungle, they were putting down wards, and they actually placed down a sentry ward to try to check if any of the camps were blocked, but they weren't.
Alright. And that's a lot of priority just for the first time around, for the first camp. You could have waited until 30 seconds and realized it. This is the one that is blocked. It's going to be the pull point on top.
Yeah, and he actually even gives Keizu the sentries and the wards just in case.
God, I love this. And really happy I didn't pick Era, as Era initiated on. They got brain sap, that burst damage available, and he actually couldn't get back out again. They actually got the old-fashioned surround on him. And welcome to First Blood, going the way of F5. That's one way to tilt at the start.
We mentioned it in the previous game, how the old way to deal with Slark was run an aggro try against him so that you can just pressure him, because Slark without free farm is actually a pretty bad hero. So this is the approach that they're doing. They go for the aggro tri lane, they get the instant First Blood, and yep, automatic swap by Era.
Yeah. Because the Darkseer is obviously inside the jungle, and this actually isn't that bad for him. There's already stacks being prepared. So we can get a little bit of this through and then put Iron Shells on the wave. So you can push it back, and is this now going to be a swap up as well from F5? Yeah, they push Pasha to the top lane, and they bring Illidan down to the south. So the aggro lane got what they wanted from F5, they get the kill on Era, they force movement out from Escape, and now they'll do the same movement themselves.
Dude, this Bane set is
Yeah, it's sick, isn't it?
It's. I mean, 6 was...
it definitely looks like he's wearing like a Scottish loin, like it's like a kilt, but his ass is too big.
It's really funny looking. I don't know. He's like a rhino. He looks almost like the faceless Rex, kind of.
He reminds me of something that you would see in The Mummy.
Again,
Era.
following Era.
Yeah, the Dark Pact just pounces away. That's the reason why the Chaos Bot was taking so long. It's actually not that bad to harass into Yapsort too. He's only got boots, no stout shield. Like, sure, there's 720 life on him, but...
Yeah, they're really throwing... Phantasma is really throwing a wrench into Escape's plans. They were like, okay, we're okay with these laning phase, we're okay with doing this, and oh my god, wait a minute, this is an aggro tri-lane. Our whole plans are getting messed up. Our Darkseer already has Iron Talon to go to the jungle, so he cannot contest.
Careful how deep you come in here. Synderen's just banking on the fact they're going to come up too close, and then he just shadow waves them down. He's hiding in the trees where F5 have no vision. Now you go for the Void over on Yol. Synderen, Poison Touch, good leash here from Era. The Dark Pact actually going to do no damage thanks to the fact that Yol got a good timing off of the Nightmare. Synderen already did his Shadow Wave, dropping insanely low and very lucky to survive.
Yeah, almost dies.
But that was, like, the bait made sense. But...
yeah, just Bane being such an innately tanky hero, able to get the sleep on himself so that the creeps get de-aggroed off of him for a second, and then Cinder not able to land the big heal bomb on top of those because of that. So nice sleep play by him.
Kaiser's had a really good start. The highest net worth keeps switching around, like he's got the highest CS at the moment because he started off in the jungle, came to the lane, you're 3 minutes in with a level 5 Darkseer, who's already completed up both Iron Talon as well as Soul Ring.
And Era switches again, level 2 Slark with absolutely no farm. He has 10 CS, but he's died once and he's TP'd twice.
He needs the kill. Like, if you can get that Iron Shell from the Darkseer and they can pounce into Pasha, but Pasha's already reading that play. That's why he pushes the boar off to the east. He has the Observer Ward too, which is still blocking up the camp, so he'll know when the Darkseer leaves. So there's your first little attack, Keizu. There's your Iron Shells up as well, so Pasha just killing him off in Space Creation is what they're looking for, but Pasha makes a break for the tree line. He's still got a Tango Charge available, but it won't be enough. Era gets a much needed kill, and this allows Keizu to help him as well.
Oh, yes, he's like, yes, thank you. Like, I needed this.
Yapsol might be in a little bit. Actually, Yapsol's just forcing time. Illidan leaves the bottom lane. They try and gank it up with both Yol as well as RMN. Loop around. Yapsol just has to stay out of vision for now. This is nighttime, so he's only got 1 point up in Hunter of the Night. But it's enough that he can just run away from RMN. No great lockdown without the Bane.
Fantastic 5 doing a great job, though, like I was mentioning. Just messing up the plans from Escape, making everybody just moving around constantly, and you can tell it's affecting them. The Night Stalker's level he actually gets his level 3. They're making an aggressive move onto BZZ in the mid lane. Cold Snap, Forge Spirit, right clicks. They should be able to chase him out here, but the Wisp actually comes in.
Yeah, good tether, and now turns onto Yapsor with that Spirit Siphon. Yapsor has to avoid the balls, but he'll end up getting slapped down.
Quite for 2, getting body blocked up by Yol. They have a Brain Sap up, but no other further chase.
Yeah, they can't get close enough. You also need, like, you had like 1 Spirit Siphon left.
Good rotations there by the supports on the side of Fantastic 5.
Pasha actually having a crack at Synderen. With the double balls, he can keep Synderen slowed. Synderen's only got 1 bit of burst heal, and with the ball, the Hawk up on the hillside, Pasha knows exactly when to leave, aka when Yapsor TPs to the lane. But it forces movement out from Escape as a reactionary thing. They're not getting aggressive, not up in the face of anyone just yet. Surprisingly, Illidan actually hasn't found as much farm as I thought he was going to. 5.5 levels is obviously quite good. He's doing it by himself.
He's moved a good amount as well.
Yeah.
He's just trying to follow the Slark around.
But he's still stuck at 20 CS.
Yeah.
I suppose it's more than the Slark who's at 19, so yeah, it balances out.
Not by much, lanes. Though. Yeah, you look at the net worth and they're pretty much even. Era's actually ahead of him by now.
That kill on top lane probably helped.
Yeah.
The death probably didn't, but... Mid lane, Yapsol. Spirit Cypher starts again, and he instantly regrets his decision. Qualifiers got no Forge Spirits up. Like, that was the other thing, and goodbye Synderen. Pash was able to find that kill.
Yep, gets level 6, gets the Roar, and instantly takes out Synderen. Synderen does not have Shallow Grave either.
Well, Synderen's only got level 2, he's just shy of the 3rd. Just so difficult as well for these supports. Like Yapsor now is doing what I expect him to do. But he started with boots, so there's no Iron Talon, which also going back for is going to be like a real problem for
DD
him.
rune though. Now this might be the opportunity to go on BCC
Yeah,
here.
Spirit Siphon. Oh,
Bane TP instantly, Spirit Siphon as well, and he should be just fine.
yeah. That
Great.
silence needs to last longer from Yapsaw. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the levels. Even
Yeah.
when he ganks during nighttime, it just doesn't last long enough.
And with the initial raindrop blocking the void damage, it's a little bit, but it helps. Little thing helps in that type of instance. Yul now getting chased out, and this should definitely be a dead bait.
Yeah, it should be a lot better for a kill now, as Invoker finds the kill. Synderen actually tried to help out with a Shadow Wave. I don't know
Yeah.
if that was actually meant to be a kill secure, so he could finally buy up some boots.
Much needed kills though. All the people on the side of Escape Gaming, the two supports really need experience. So every time that they get the kills there, it's massively beneficial to them in this laning phase.
Escape really needs to kill off this Beastmaster though. Like Pasha, like normally it's like you have an offlaner who's able to get like an easy transition in like to the next major item. Now you got a Beastmaster who is well on his way to picking up his Necro Book. He's the top net worth on the field, 7.5 minutes in, and he didn't have to do any of it from the jungle. He did all of it from the lane.
Yeah, and he doesn't even go for like the straight up rush into the book build. He builds up treads first, so he's very tanky and he does a lot of damage just with his right clicks.
So easy for a Beastmaster. Illidan and I remember were actually looking for an opening on Keizu. They almost had a good angle for it. They needed a little bit more movement speed over on the CK. Maybe also a little bit of better vision now that daytime has arrived.
Yeah, I feel like the Wisp should actually be stacking a little bit more, keeping his mana up ready for TPs constantly, but stacking whenever possible so he can get levels and get his level 6 as early as possible, so they can get relocate online. Make some movement, just causing havoc, just putting pressure on the Slark. Not really trying to go for a kill here.
Illidan, Absol, say hello. This is a nighttime gank. Even with a daytime gank, even with 2 Iron Shells, it's not going to be as successful.
Yeah, Night Stalker looks like he actually crawls during the day. 340 movement speed.
It's the wings, man. They're not aerodynamic during daytime, only during nighttime.
Is that lower movement speed than Luna without boots? Pretty close. Illidan pops the Phantasm. He's actually making the move on Yapsor first, and BCC's coming down, and that'll be the cleanup.
Good 2 seconds silence on Keizu. Stop the surge away, so there was no way to really run out. Even then, it would have been close. So top tower gets taken out by F5 while they get a kill on the Night Stalker, who was trying to creep, skip out, and be over-aggressive. Something Illidan was not going to stand for. Illidan's also one of those players who likes to trigger the Phantasm early on to try and force down the bottom tier 1 tower. Because normally it gets a reaction out from the offlaners who are sitting inside the jungle, or brings an extra support hero down. In this case, obviously, he gets kills, so that works as well.
Yeah. Koikba now finishing up his Midas, gets his level 8, so now he has level 4 spirits online. Pretty decent timing for him, 9 minutes. First player to get 15 denies. No. And lost his Death Prophet. We're close.
How did we lose to a Death Prophet?
Darn.
Qualifier was 2 denies short.
And now we have Keizu getting gone on Illidan. Gets the stun up on him. It's only 1 second.
Yeah, it means Keizu's still got a little bit of extra movement speed, but then the Nightmare.
Then rotations
the
are coming.
Tree line. Qualifier wants to come over, but it's BZZ who will find him in the tree line. Synderen, where's that Shallow Grave? They're waiting out as long as possible while BZZ, he's bringing the Exorcism over. There's your Shallow Grave. Keizu's on the run out. They're stunned 4 seconds this time from Illidan. One basic attack from BZZ will do the work, and they're going in deep underneath the tier 1, almost the tier 2 tower. It gives BZZ a double kill. It's about to become a triple kill as Yapsor has to walk into him. No other option. Your trade-off is you kill a Beastmaster, but you just traded 3 heroes, all to a big core of BZZ.
Yeah, it was good rotation by him. He followed the Invoker as Koiko was making the move, and Koiko was actually, while he was making the move into the fight, he was forced to TP home because of Spirit Siphon and Exorcism. So the fight actually ends up going into Fantastic Five's favor because of how well they were able to just outnumber Escape Gaming, and of course through the use of that well-used Exorcism.
Escape, life is getting harder and harder and harder. But just the fact that you've got CK as well as IO combining so well together, the fact you've already got the Necro Book recipe at least on the Beastmaster, so one of the bigger expensive item parts of the Necro Book. And Death Prophet having practically a Yules, it's Like, you've already got very little lockdown as it is. Now you're gonna have your mana drained out. You've got a disengage from the Death Prophet. You've already got CK who's building up levels really quickly too, and you've got to relocate to either save or be aggressive.
I mean, we were talking about how Escape has 0 stuns. So now with the Yule Scepter, he's gonna have such an easy position to just get multiple spirit siphons off while they're like, if they're trying to burst him down and just take his time leisurely with using his Yule Scepter.
It's like Yepso comes in, he's like, what, Crippling Fear and Void, Yule Scepter.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, in a lot of situations as a Death Prophet, it's like, you're under a lot of pressure because you have to click like 3 spirit siphons instantly and get your Yules off pretty much all at the exact moment before you get disabled. But like we're mentioning, Escape doesn't really have those disables.
Yep. That's why Qualifiers needs to have a lot more progression than what he's currently got. He's the top net worth for Escape. He's only a little bit behind the Beastmaster and about 1,000 behind the Death Prophet. But running this Hand of Midas now up to 1,400 gold. We'll see how Qualifiers progresses. Like, if he just goes for a full greed and says, you know, guys, just hold off on the fights. Yeah, we've lost our T1 towers on the side lanes. Hold the mid lane if possible. Mech is available for Keizu, so they're actually not too bad to fight here, Escape, especially during nighttime. So if F5 want to force the issue, it may be okay for Escape, even though, like, as we just went through listing everything that F5 has got, Escape may have no other choice. They can't keep losing map control like this.
Yeah, the problem is that they're getting a bit behind at this point, and Fantastic Five has natural objective takers and siegers, while on the side of Escape Gaming you don't really have natural siegers. It's like your Invoker with Forge Spirits, and that's pretty much it.
Well, they're getting ready to fight. Escape in the tree lines. F5 are going to be very much aware of this. Like, they're not mugs, they understand what's going on. Crew Swarm actually helps with this. The Forge Spirits coming out, so that T1 tower dropping low. Phantasm up for Illidan. Guarantees the last hit on the tower. And also makes it very, very iffy for Escape, because if they fight this, they don't really win much. Like, you already lost your T1 tower, now you lose your Darkseer as well. It's the Observer Ward up on the hillside next to Roshan to let them see everything. Now they move to Cinderin, and everything is just falling apart. BZZ with the double kill. And while all this is going on, Pasha is still pushing down the tier 2 tower up on top. And they probably even will assault the tier 2 tower in mid on the back of the end of the Phantasm. Even if Illidan is quite low. Okay, he's gonna TP back.
I feel like I see this so often at like Beastmasters. It's so funny. He's such a hard pushing and dominant hero in that aspect that he can just always go for that tier 2 top. And Pasha, oh my god, that was such an hard play. Like we've been talking about, very light on the disable. Koifa didn't even actually have the invoke for the cold snap there, so he actually could have probably just TP'd without the roar.
Yeah, it was all on cooldown.
But either way, good heads up play by him there, just stepping into the side rather than taking the natural route that people usually use. Pops the roar and escapes that, and now we do have, it looks like Bane was spotted by the Slark. It looks like he's trying to set up a Fiend's Grip in top lane, but
there's no relocate, so they can't bring in the help.
Yeah. RMN finding some farm up in the jungle for himself now, using the spirits, and he's on his way toward his mech.
Yeah, with that kind of burst heal coming into F5, that teamfight's even scarier now. Level 2 Necro books up for Pasha. These Beastmaster offlanes really are like, it's almost like AFK gaming PvE. You're taking your fight, that's fine. I'll join you when I've got my Blink and my level 3 Necro book.
Yeah,
but until that point, was fine.
Yeah, until then, I will be farming these creeps, yo.
Until then, I was just winning an offlane against a dual lane. Just Beastmaster things.
Just Pasha things too. We were talking about how it's like his most
Era, the Hawk, actually goes down. Era should have realized he killed this. Yapsaw, there's no Beastmaster Raw. This was just a small little off timing for F5. They needed 5 more seconds until that Raw was back off cooldown.
Yep, and Qualifiers just farming, like pretty much exclusively, just doing some ancients now. He's got his Midas in his drum, but not, like I said, from the last Invoker one that I saw, like this is kind of similar just because they don't really have a whole lot of lockdown, and he's not really able to involve his presence in the game still at this point. He needs to just pretty much farm up until Zaganim's.
They're coming down for Illidan. Era jumps in. This is the first reveal of the Shadow Blade, but then Phantasm going to fight against him. Keizu going to back 3, wall up. The relocate comes in from the IO. Era is so low, but he's able to actually get off his Shadow Dance, but the Darkseer gets ripped apart, and Era getting hit by the Wisp Spirits. They'll chase deeper into the tree line. Illidan's low, and now he's actually left alone. Era gets back into the Invis. A little bit further up, BZZ picks up the retreating Night Stalker, and now sentries have arrived, so you can say goodbye
to the top lane, getting
got
by Pasha as well, and Pasha, it looks like he's gonna solo kill him with the book.
Wow! At least Cinderin is there to get some level of revenge. Actually, I say that it was the Invoker Forge Spirit that gets the kill on the Beastmaster, but you just lost 4 heroes for 1, and Cinderin is the biggest benefactor from all of this. Your last player left alive, Dazzle. That is not what you want to have said about a team fight, or any kind of trade-off like that.
Definitely not. Beautiful relocate coming in there though from RMN. Saves Illidan's life and nets them several different kills, while Pasha, like you've been saying, he's doing his own thing. He's playing his own game. He even almost gets the tier 2 top and even kills Koifa. So a huge gain for him there. And now he's got his book 3 finished up.
This is brutal. Like, for Escape, like, the question was asked, like, F5 just got slaughtered. Like, we're gonna be really good. Like, F5, they had no synergy in their last game. Nothing was working for him. Now, you kick up with classic combinations. You bring Illidan back to his combination now with a different support hero from what he used to play. It's RMN on the IO that backs up his CK. Having the Death Prophet, BZZ has just had such a good lane against an Invoker, which seemed to be like a last resort pick for Escape. And the Beastmaster of Pasha, you said it in the last in the last series, where Pasha seems to be the one who dictates the pace of F5. He performed fantastically during the group stage, and even in the previous games was still doing well. Now he's actually gotten farmed.
RMN gets scouted out here.
Everything is amplified.
And he's silenced. He's not able to get his tether off. He does have mech though.
He's lasting a long time. 1 charges as well. They turn, they look for the Raw and the pull back from Illidan. Keizu can get a quick back, but what's really going to be your advantage? A 3-second stun from the Chaos Ball here is way too low. This game is over. You haven't even lost all your tier 2 towers yet, but everyone is falling like flies, and there's no real answer to this. You just took a fight without using Exorcism and lost 3 big heroes. This has been racks.
Yeah, this is absolutely mid-racks. Like, this is, I think, like you said, this is the game already. Like, Era gets his Lothar, this is like
He didn't even use Phantasm!
This is the second showing of his Lothar, and he just gets, the book's already out. So he walks in and just gets instantly mana burn. He didn't even get roared or stunned or anything. He just walked in, got mana burn, and died.
Yeah, that's 2 lanes. They can rotate bottom. They can take another tier 3 tower. They're gonna mop up the rest of the mid. Like, okay, you've got the Slark as well as the Darkseer coming up.
They're happy with the racks. 18-minute racks? Like,
yeah, I suppose. Don't push the issue too hard, huh? But like, what's your answer? Your Invoker's got BT's drums and a hand of Midas to try and semi-control the side lanes. You got no repositioning, you got no amplification of his abilities through an Aghanim Scepter. Keizu's running the mech, but that kind of survivability doesn't do much once a Beastmaster is going to be, and already has, his Blink Dagger. So you blink Raw Necros, you can burn off all the mana, and then Darkseer is a non-factor.
Yeah, Fantastic Five's laning decision is really paying off for them right now, and I feel like Escape Gaming's, they're not, I don't know if it's like the draft, it's not really allowing Koifa to be incorporated, but it just feels like he's not even in the game.
Agreed.
And he's not even really able to do anything. Like, Era got shut down super hard in his lane, so he's not able to really do anything. And he gets his Lothar in such a late time that the book 3's already up for the Beastmaster.
But that's what's meant to happen, right? Era's meant to create space for Koifa, so he can have that progression. Now they jump in, they're going to find Yol. He's silenced up, 1 charge just won't be enough to keep him alive. They even drop everything, including the kitchen sink on him. But Illidan, the relocate, it's actually RMN coming in to help him out. They go through 1 as the Darkseer are already dead. Pasha will be the sacrificial lamb, but it's just 1-1 tit for tat at the moment until the Invoker will pop, and you realize the strength coming out from the Radiant lineup. Illidan will not find Yapzor in time to cancel off his TP. So headed south for Era, but he's also going to be picking up that haste rune, so he's away to safety. So a 2-for-3 trade-off. That's actually probably the best Escape could have asked for.
Best Escape could have asked for, but Phantasm was on cooldown. Fiend's Grip did not get cast, did not get used. Death Prophet, Exorcism was actually not up yet, and now the big items are starting to come out. The Octarine finished it for the Death Prophet. As you just mentioned, he's level 14. Illidan as well has, I think, the Manta style coming out for him. He does. He just receives that.
This is Illidan's style. With Manta as well as Phantasm, when he can get high levels so quickly, he just uses the illusions to bring down the towers. And because there's no clearance, like what if you got? You got Meteorite, Deathling Blast, a little bit of Iron Shell Vac, Dark Pact. Are you using all of these just to try and get rid of a couple of Phantasms and Manta illusions?
Yeah, I mean, I actually love this Manta build now because of like the way how Armlet works. You know, if you turn the Armlet on and you put the Manta out, your Manta illusions are buffed up a bit. So it's a really cool pickup, and it's pretty much like you were saying, the Illidan's specialty.
One of those 20 buffs to the CK you're talking about.
Yep, little things that add up.
Notice how Illidan's also holding on to to his Phantasm for now. He doesn't need it. Like with BZZ's ulti, they're gonna start chaining their powerful abilities.
Yeah.
They know they don't need to commit anything else. Escape are in no position to fight.
Oh, Click almost gets grabbed. They have the blink
Yep,
in the floor on the ready.
There goes your darkness. And where is that jump? They find Keizu. He waited perfectly for that one. The Shallow Grave will come out. Definitely Blast tries to create a little bit more space, but the Ultimate's there for BZZ. That Death Drop loading is still doing work. In fact, he's going to start healing from it in just a bit. You've already lost 2 heroes, and Coin for Synderen, you're next on the list. In fact, Kuiper is the first one there. Now they can jump over to Synderen. The stuns and GG. Not even 22 minutes on the clock. And this game is over. Really, it was over 10, maybe even 15 minutes ago.
Wow.
Everything is incorrect.
Really? Oh, I got my Roche right.
You got your Roche right, but that was just... I don't think Escape knew it really hit them. And I'm wondering at the end of the draft, it's like, yo guys, like, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And then F5 come up with this trial lane up on top. He like,